Hey guys, this is James behind the camera here. Oh, that right there. James behind the camera here, and I thought it would be interesting to give you all a bit of a behind the scenes look at our studio to show you the rigging that we have and the lighting and all that stuff, so you guys can see how we put together our videos. Let's start with the back wall there. Now you've already seen this. This is just our art wall, if you will, and basically we just have a bunch of these custom printed canvases, and they're double-sided taped to the wall. Sometimes they fall down, but it's a concrete wall, so it's kind of hard to permanently attach these. But it does pretty good. And these, I believe, the owner got them made through Costco. A lot of different ways you can do it, but these are canvases. These aren't just like prints attached to the wall. Moving over here, we got a fake tree. I wanted some green in here. You can never go wrong with plant life, even though this is just a fake one that you can get on Amazon for like 60 bucks. It looks good, it looks all right, and it livens up the set. This is a custom sign, it's actually metal. It's like, it's a sheet of metal with a custom logo printed on it. That we had to go through an actual like sign manufacturer, and it's mounted to the wall, and on the back of it, I've installed LED strip lights that you can get in like a roll on Amazon. A lot of this stuff here is from Amazon. And you just sticky it to the back and it runs over to an outlet here with a remote that we can turn off and on, and we can change the colors and whatnot. It's actually pretty simple. It just has some standoff screws that separate it from the wall, and then the lighting behind it gives it a nice little glow. And then we got another fake tree here. Beautiful, love it. That's what you guys basically always see. Pretty self-explanatory, but the other stuff is the stuff that you don't always see. Sometimes you see these lights a little bit, but not always. So let's sort of dive into that. Now the lighting array is very, very significant. When you're making videos, lighting is the #1 most important thing. And so when I came back, I wanted to make sure that we had a good lighting array. And actually we didn't spend that much money on these. These are from a brand called Newer. You can kind of see the logo up there. This one doesn't have it, that's interesting. And these things are LED panels that come in around $50 each on Amazon. They're like full metal housing, great little lights, and pretty affordable. And I have it in a 5-light array. And basically, this is what's called the key light. This is the main light that lights the person. This is the fill light, and that fills in the little shadows on the face. That is the hair light, and what that does is it shines down on the back of the person, and it lights up their hair and it separates them from the background. And to increase the separation, I put what's called a blue gel on the light, and so it has a blue tint coming off of it. And then these two just illuminate the background to further separate the subject from the background. And these are very important, and I will show you why right now. Okay, so here we have James Webby. He also works on the YouTube channel. He's the one going out and getting them writing clips for us. Now this is with our full lighting array. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Now I'm going to turn off those lights. Not as good. It's okay, like, it's fine. That back there helps, but not as good. And now we're back. Thank you, buddy. So hopefully that showed you why I have those lights up there. It just creates a lot more separation, and it creates a more dynamic shot. Instead of having the background all dark and dingy, we have plenty of light for separation. Okay, so that's how the lighting array works. Now let me show you how I have it installed. Now these are just on normal light stands, as you can see here, boom, boom. These, however, are a little more tricky because I have to get them up and behind. So what I'm using is 2 separate C-stands, and if you know much about filmmaking, you know what C-stands are. Basically, they're super hefty light stands, essentially. I have it kind of hiding behind this vine because every now and then, if the camera turns or if we're using a wider shot, they'll get into the shot, and they're as far out as I can get them, so I decided to just kind of hide them with some more fake foliage that you can get, once again, on Amazon. That one's hiding behind the tree. This one's hiding behind some vines. It works, it does a pretty good job. This one I have both of them on there, and that one just has one. And despite having sandbags, those are just bags full of sand that help you stabilize light stands and C-stands and whatnot. Despite having that, I also decided to install some hooks. I don't know if you can see, there's a hook up there and there's a hook up there with some very heavy fishing line holding it up, because we're in California, we get earthquakes. Okay, so there's our main lighting array, and it works really good for when there's like 1 or 2 people just behind this table. In the event that we switch things up, we move things around like the scooter trivia video we did not too long ago, I also have a light here as well as on the other side of that curtain that just allows me to pump some more light into the room. And it's more even lighting, it's not as quote unquote cinematic as what we have here, but that's what that's for. Now speaking of these curtains, these are actually moving blankets. These are what you would get when you're moving, you wrap furniture in them and it keeps them from being damaged. They're nice and thick, and the reason I have these is actually for sound. We're in an almost entirely concrete room. The walls are concrete, the floor is concrete, the ceiling is basically concrete. It's very echoey in here, and what this does is it absorbs those echoes and prevents them from going into the microphone. So we kind of have the area closed off with these curtains here, and we have a big rug on the floor that also helps dampen that sound. When you're working in a very echoey space, putting up blankets and any kind of fabric that absorbs that works really well. So yeah, pro tip, if you're making YouTube videos and your videos are super echoey and you don't know why, put down some rugs or some blankets and it'll help. And this one can be picked up and swiveled out of the way so it's not obstructing our walkway. It's really just out like this when we do videos. Now when I film, I typically use 2 cameras. There's the other camera over there, I'll show that in a second. And then the camera that I'm holding is usually sitting on this tripod with a different lens on it. This is what's called the A camera, and the one on the shoulder rig is called the B camera. And I typically shoot with 2 camera angles because it looks better, in my opinion. And if the person's sitting, I sit on this chair. That's some exciting content for you guys. Now let's take a look down here real quick, and this is pretty important. So this is where I have almost all of these lights plugged in. So if I were to switch this off, almost all the lights turn off. So it's, you know, just for ease of use. And then that one is on its own strip. Also down here, you'll see our air compressor for installing grips when we do custom builds and everything. And then this, that has a very specific purpose too. This is another light, and this is the remote to that light. When I click it on, that means I'm recording. When I click it off, I'm done recording. And there are 5 of these lights spread around the warehouse and the upstairs offices to let people know that we're filming and to be quiet. Do they listen? Not always, but that's okay. And then moving over here, we got some additional supplies. This is like our shoulder rig and our main camera. This is a Panasonic GH4. I'm not gonna go into depth about our camera equipment in this video, but if you guys really enjoy this and you wanna learn a little bit more about the behind the scenes process and would like to see a camera and audio gear breakdown, let me know in the comment section down below. Here we have the toolbox that has all the tools we need for custom builds and scooter maintenance for the videos. And I made sure when I came back, I got this toolbox, I got everything we needed, and then I bought my own padlock because the guys here are pretty notorious for stealing the studio's tools and never returning them. So I put a lock on it and we are good to go. Down here we have the fog machine that I use for the custom builds. Contrary to what the comments may suggest, no, we don't have somebody here just vaping onto the scooter. We have a fog machine and it works really well. Now the most important part of the studio are the snacks. I keep some snacks down here, love it. And then just some various different supplies, like we have whiteboards and the buzzers and a bunch of the stuff that we use in random videos in there. Moving over here, we have my desk, and this is where I do some of the editing for the channel. I also do a lot of editing from home. This is my personal laptop. I had everything on there, and so I get to edit from home, which is really great. A lot of flexibility there. But when I'm in the studio and I need to do some editing, I pop it up here. Oh, really?
I'm sorry.
That's Ruben, ladies and gentlemen, Ruben right there. But this is a sitting and standing desk. I like to stand a lot because editing takes a long time. When you sit for 10 hours in a row, it doesn't do any justice for your back. Most of you guys are pretty young. It doesn't affect you, but I'm an old man, so I need to take care of my body. But just push the little button here, and it lowers if I'm tired of standing. I can have a seat, or I can bring it back up. And what's actually really useful about this is I actually use this when I film the B-roll of the custom builds. So this allows me to raise and lower stuff, but maybe I'll do a behind the scenes video on the custom builds if that's something you guys want to see. Again, let me know, comment section down below. And then just boring drawers full of camera equipment and stuff like that. And then on the other side of the curtain, we have Webby and Ruben. Hard at work editing videos. Oh, you dropped the bike, BMX down. But yeah, this is where they edit. And then the rest of the studio is kind of boring, kind of messy. Here's our photography setup, but who cares about that? We are talking about YouTube. And that's basically it. That is the whole studio. Well, all the important stuff at least. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I hope you learned a little bit. And let me know, again, let me know if you want to see more of this behind the scenes content. I can do behind the scenes for the custom builds, behind the scenes for all kinds of different stuff. So let me know down there. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and have yourselves a wonderful day. And I'll see you all in the next video.